Oh, classic Dido there, introducing the lady herself. Hi, Dido.
Hi. That was very nice dancing, by the way, you were doing there. Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah.
Little jerky.
Yes, old men should not dance at all. Now, Dido's back. You've been away a while.
I have.
How long have you been away?
Sort of 4 years.
Is that right?
Yeah. It wasn't intentional.
And I have to say, because you've been away for a long time, when I got the album, I did sort of think, I wonder what she's been doing. I wonder what is this going to be kind of like, really, Dido? Yeah. This is the direction you're going in now? But phew, it is classic Dido. It's your voice to the front of every track. It's beautiful. Really, really beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, were you... Because did you work over the 4 years?
I did,
this?
yeah. I mean, yeah. My third album was probably the sort of more experimental one, and then
done. Did
went
that.
into a dark place, yeah. But this I actually started working on really quickly, and I was feeling really pleased with myself because it was going to come out really quickly for me, like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then one day I was in the studio and happened to do a pregnancy test, and I found out I was pregnant. And I was like, well, I'm not going to put an album and a baby out at the same time. So then I suddenly went really quiet. I'd been sort of tweeting away, going, I've got an album coming, and then I just went completely silent for about 2 years. Yeah, as you do.
Yeah, quiet that album. Yeah,
exactly.
Somebody listen to it.
Yes.
No, you don't, Dido.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's done incredibly well. Number one in 34 countries.
Yeah, it was sort of it's great.
Well, it is good because it must be scary to go away for 4 years because the music industry is there's a quick churn.
Yes. I think it's good though because you sort of lose touch in a nice way, and then you just get on and you make the music you want to make and you sort of think, well, this is great if someone wants to listen to it, and it's cool if they don't.
No, but also I was saying when you stick this album on and the music starts, when you hear your voice, it is like we've missed you.
Oh,
the voice
that's very nice.
Oh, is that lovely? Oh. Like the single "No Freedom."
Yes.
When that chorus kicks in, it's just like, oh, that's lovely.
Oh, that's nice. Thank
Dido's
you.
Bad.
Lovely.
Dido's bad. Now, because I'm trying to remember the kind of what happened in your career.
So am I.
With the first album of it. Where was Eminem in all of this? Was he what?
No, well, he sort of came... Basically, I went to America first, and I was sort of, doing pretty well in America, and it was all going well. But then I hadn't actually put the album out anywhere else in the world. I toured in America for a year and a half before anything else happened.
Oh, okay.
And then I made Stan, and he made Stan, and I sort of... And then that came out, and then everything just exploded. And that was at the same time that my album came out here and in the rest of the world. So, yeah, it went crazy.
Wow. How did that happen? How did America happen first?
Basically, there was a sort of weird fight with the record company here between someone, and they wouldn't release my record, which worked brilliantly. I mean, it was sort of inadvertently a great piece of luck, but at the time, it was stuck in some weird legal loophole. So I was just like, well, you know what, guys, I'm off to America because that's the one place I can put my record out. And so I went off and just got an American band and just toured around America. So it actually worked really well for me, but at the time I was a bit gutted.
Yes, I can imagine. Yeah. It's been quite frustrating. I mean, how frustrating to put all that work into an album
and then think it's not going to come out. And but that it happens a lot.
And it's so scary because people kind of think, oh, if only I could get a record deal. Everyone's looking for the break, the big break. And you got yours, and then it just went wrong.
Exactly. But, it did work out brilliantly, and going to America was fantastic. And, I just had the best time.
So, would your career probably wouldn't be that different if the Eminem thing hadn't happened then?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think that really made it pretty stratospheric. Like, I just felt like, definitely it was sort of building really, really nicely, and it was really great. But that sort of, I think, took it to a whole other level, especially in America, and he was just so huge there.
Well, I guess it put the foot on the pedal. I mean, it accelerated things.
Yeah,
I guess.
Suddenly I remember the moment I realised things had changed. Where I was lying on a beach on holiday, and I was looking at someone else on a lounger, and they were reading like the Daily Express or something, and I was like, I think that's me on the cover. When you just have that sort of horrible moment of, I think that's me, and I went to the hotel shop and bought all the rest of the copies so no one else would read it.
Wow, that's a scary...
Yeah, that was the sort of Eminem moment. It sort of shifted into that world.
And I guess no one prepares you for that, particularly because it wasn't even your record.
No, and we weren't expecting it. You know, it really was a thing of like, you know, I heard the sample, I heard the track, I was like, that sounds brilliant, and then I forgot about it, and then suddenly it, you know, came out and my whole world changed.
Wow. And now the new album, Girl Who Got Away, it's a bit of a family affair. Your brother,
yes,
he was called Rollo?
Rollo, yes.
Your parents went over, I don't know where they got their baby name book,
had
but...
a field day, yeah.
Have you other brothers and sisters?
No, thankfully, no. And, yeah, I dread to think.
No, because you've got other names, haven't you?
I have, many.
Tell us all your names.
Florian Clouds of Bunviel Armstrong. I'll only say it once.
Is that on your passport?
Unfortunately, yes, and it sort of doesn't really fit.
No, filling in the form must be terrible.
And they laugh at me every single time I go through immigration. Every time. They're like, oh, that's a handful. So, yes.
Have you not thought about... Because everyone just knows you as Dido. So.
I know, I could just change it. But, you know, where's the fun in that?
Where's the fun?
Exactly.
Yeah. And did Rollo do as well?
Yeah, Rollo's quite a mouthful.
He's a lot
too.
as well. Yeah. Does he have a cloud in there?
He doesn't. No, everyone needs a cloud.
Yeah,
names. Yeah.
It's sweet. It's sweet. Yeah. You could because so many people now do that. Like that guy Passenger. You know, you could.
Who's Passenger?
This man. He's
called Passenger.
He's called. He's this guy.
Oh right.
Let Her Go.
Yeah.
We just played it.
Oh right, that's actually his name.
Well, it can't be his name. No parent is that. I mean, I know there's Satchel, but no one. We're going to call him Passenger. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it makes you sound like a band. So you could be Cloud. And
I could. I could be a band.
You could be a band. You could be a band. So in terms of doing this new album, the kind of the biog says that it's a very kind of optimistic album, and it is. It's a very you know, it's not a heartbreak album. It's a love is a good thing album.
Yeah. Yeah, there's mixed with a bit of heartbreak too, because I just can't help myself.
You remember what that was like, yes. And actually, what did you call your son?
Stanley.
Stanley.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Was that for Stan?
Well, it wasn't, and I actually called Rollo and said, because it's just the name that I always loved from when I was a teenager. It's my favourite name.
I called Rollo.
I know, I called Rollo. I know it's all getting very.
You sound like
silly.
a character in Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
Rollo's on the phone. Oh, Rollo.
And and it's my husband's favourite name and my favourite name, so we always wanted to call him Stanley or her, and I called Rollo and said, do you think anyone's going to think I've named him after Stan? He was like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. No one would make that connection, of course.
Everyone made
that connection. Yeah, so sorry.
All right, we're going to play. This is the single mix of End of Night.
Oh, right.
Is there anything you need to tell us about it? Is there anything you'd like to tell us about this track before we play it?
It's quite a personal one, this one. It's about someone that it takes quite a lot to make me annoyed, and this person did. And I wrote a song about it.
Do they know who they are?
See, no, they don't, and they absolutely love the song. Like, they're a proper fan of the song, and they have no idea it's about them.
That's genius.
I know, and it gives me so much pleasure in a dark, twisted way.
All right, so if you know Dido, this could be about you.
Yeah.
Here's End of Night. Oh, there she goes, an annoyed Dido.
A woman scorned.
Finishing her song. And when you're recording, you know, because you've got this beautiful voice, but in a way, do the producers kind of say, oh, you know, there's not enough of your voice, because presumably you are a bit casual about your voice, because, you know, that's just the sound you make.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't think of it. My brother the old fight used to be my brother always used to turn me down and I used to turn me up. And then they told me there used to always be a sort of a pretend button on the mixing desk for the singers to just play with and turn their vocals up. And so I probably had one of those for years without realising. And now,
is it all a 2 CD, or is this a deluxe thing I've got?
That's a deluxe thing.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean quite deluxe. And by the way, if you want to own the single, End of Night, that is out on May the 6th.
Marvellous.
Start saving now. Yeah. Now, people have emailed and texted in, so I'm going to read some out. Brace yourself. Charlotte, that isn't even well, I'll read it out. It's not a question, though. Hi, Dido. Would love for you to recognise me. I'm one of your biggest fans ever since you came out. Will you be doing... Oh, it is a question. Will you be doing any arena tours when you get your band together? That's from Charlotte.
Hello, Charlotte. I recognise you. And
Do you?
no, but I'm saying hello.
Yeah, that's cheering her up.
Yeah, don't know what. Literally, I'm getting a band together as we speak this week, so we will see how it goes.
How do you do that?
Don't know.
Like, do you got to go, my mate Roger's good on the drums?
No, thankfully, I sort of know various people through various people, and, you know, you just sort of work. My general thing is to work with people I like over and above most other things, because that is what counts for it when you're on a bus.
Yeah, and Rollo knows everyone in Hobbiton. So, you know, there's some great musicians over near the White Cliffs.
Stop it.
And now in terms of the tour, so this is Sebastian in Germany. He saw you in 2004 in Hamburg. It was great. But is this going to be a world tour? It kind of has to be.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I haven't really thought it through. I've just I've got to stage I've put the album out and haven't thought much through after that. But I will start thinking it through. Yes. And
also, now is a good time to do a big world tour because Stanley can come with you.
Well, exactly. And he does love playing the cymbals. He's obsessed. Yeah, so when the guys turn up to rehearse, he gets so excited and he comes down, but he's so serious about it. He puts his headphones on and he just stands there playing the cymbals sort of bizarrely in time, but with a really serious look on his face. That's
adorable, because he's nearly 2, right?
Yeah. He's just, he's a keen drummer.
So apart from the cymbals, what are children doing at nearly 2? I mean, obviously walking, talking, all that stuff.
Walking, bit of talking, bit
driving,
bit of drumming, bit of driving, abseiling, you know, stuff like that.
Gourmet chef,
bungee jumping.
Yeah, he's really advanced. No, because presumably, as a mom, you do have to think about, oh, hang on, once he goes to school, that will change your life and you won't be able to tour in the same way. And
exactly, you have to, I guess you tour in the school holidays. But, you know, school doesn't get serious for a while, does it?
His mother's a billionaire. He's fine.
Stop it.
Exams aren't of the same relevance for Stanley.
He's not at nursery yet, so it's all good. Yeah.
Mommy might spend it all. Keep studying, Stanley. You never know. Now, Paula Johnson was a huge fan of Roswell, which obviously used your song Here With Me as its theme song. Please ask Dido how that all came about and how much of a launch pad it was for her.
They just chose that. I remember just one day doing a gig and suddenly there was this row of Hollywood executive types standing there talking about some space program thing, not an actual space program, a program about space. And next thing it was the theme tune to Roswell, and that was another sort of huge thing that happened in America.
Yeah, and those things, I mean, they don't happen by accident, do they? I mean, you've got an agent. There's an element of the accidental, like, you know, with the whole Stan thing. That was a bit of an accident. I mean, someone heard a demo tape, put "Thank You" in a film called Sliding Doors, and then the guy who sampled it for Stan was watching Sliding Doors, heard the song, sampled it off the TV, sent it to him. And I mean, there's a lot of luck involved there. You just can't plan that sort of thing. No, you can't plan that. No. Wow. What is it like for an artist to have such a phenomenally successful debut album, a la James Blunt, Adele, and of course yourself? No Angel, an amazing album, and I'd like to know how she approached her follow-up, Life for Red. Was it daunting? Good question, Taylor Edwards in Reading.
Actually that one wasn't daunting because it happened so quickly. I'd been touring for 3 years after No Angel, and I went straight into making Life for Rent, and I actually had tried loads of songs live, and so I felt pretty confident about the record, and I sort of did it all in. It was almost like those two albums sort of merged into one in my head. What I found way more daunting was the third record, because then I sort of started overthinking a bit and thinking, I need to do something different, and you know, whereas Life Friend I didn't.
You don't need to do anything different. We love what you do. We love what you do. Girl Who Got Away, the 2-disc special edition is out now, and the single End of Night is out on the 6th of May. Dido, thank you very much for coming in to see us.
Total pleasure.
Take care of yourself. Bye bye.